Melissa McCormick. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, graduands, and honored guests. It is indeed an honor for me this morning to present to you Melissa McCormick for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. In a famous passage in Herman Melville's Moby Dick, the protagonist Ishmael cautions his readers not to look too long on the face of evil for fear that they will lose sight of their own humanity and that of their fellow human beings. Look not too long in the face of the fire, O man, Ishmael warns. Believe not the artificial fire when its redness makes all things look ghastly. It may be said that Melissa McCormick looked into the face of fire in the late evening of February 12, 1976, at the age of only 19, when after a night out with girlfriends in downtown Detroit, her car broke down on the freeway, where she was robbed at gunpoint, kidnapped, and brutally and repeatedly gang raped over a 12-hour period. Appealing to the humanity of the gang leader, she came out of that terrifying experience alive, exhibiting a fortitude and determination that sustained her through to the prosecution of her attackers. A very rare and courageous decision for a young woman to make in the 1970s, when rape was truly a shameful four-letter word that cast a stigma on the victim. Thus was Melissa McCormick guided, in that instance as in all of her life's work, by the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and a will to assist others by way of speaking out against sexual violence. As victims of sexual assault know only too well, especially where the crime is highly publicized, as in Melissa McCormick's case, the psychological and emotional aftermath can be as traumatic as the assault itself, as our society often shames the victim into silence, self-loathing, and even suicide. In asserting her own humanity, and in later forgiving her abusers, thus recognizing their humanity, Melissa McCormick heeded Ishmael's other reminder about the face of fire in Melville's novel, that tomorrow, in the natural sun, the skies will be bright. Those who glared like devils in the forking flames, the morn will show in far other, at least gentler relief. The glorious, golden, glad sun, the only true lamp. It was with the aim of not becoming a statistic, of giving a voice to the horrors of the crimes perpetrated against her, and to reach out to assist others who had been similarly assaulted, that Melissa McCormick decided in 2004 to recount her own story. After 20 years of being an entrepreneur who owned and operated a successful retail business and becoming a mother to 3 beautiful children, she wrote and published The Queen's Daughter, a book that chronicled her brutal assault and its aftermath. It became a Canadian bestseller, spawning an award-winning cinematic adaptation and a follow-up volume entitled Thick Skin that told her story after 2004 and answered questions victims often have in the aftermath of sexual assault. She also established the Queen's Daughter Cause here in Windsor, Essex County, a nonprofit organization with an advocacy program that helps sexual assault victims and a youth program that educates high school students about sexual assault. To everything she has undertaken, Melissa McCormick has brought power of positive thinking and the ability to inspire people to empower and transform themselves. To date, she has helped over 4,000 victims of sexual assault. A long-standing board member, a long-standing board member and past president of both the Windsor Sexual Assault Crisis Center and the Windsor Women's Economic Forum, Melissa McCormick is co-founder and president of the Ladies Exclusive Alliance, a co-founder of the Windsor-Essex Literacy Leadership Student Program, and a former Rotarian. She has received numerous prestigious awards and honors for her work in the nonprofit sector, including the Windsor Women's Economic Forum's Sparkplug Award, the Athena Leadership Award presented by the Windsor and District Chamber of Commerce, the Government of Canada Victim Support Services Award, and Rotary's Walter Haddon Literacy Award. At a time when incidents of rape have reached staggering proportions and social media compromises the privacy and identity of rape victims, it is imperative that the university continue to take a leadership role in denouncing rape culture and affirming our commitment to educating our students to be responsible social citizens who eschew, oppose, and report violence. We do so, for example, with our Bystander Initiative program that increases students' awareness about sexual assault and instructs them about how to prevent it. All of us in this room cannot afford to be silent in the face of sexual assault or seek to silence its victims. We must do what we can to assist Melissa McCormick's great work. We owe this, at the very least, to every woman, man, and child who has looked into the face of fire. A motivational speaker, writer, publisher, and fiercely proud Windsorite who has interviewed and celebrated in print some of the most successful and inspirational people in our community. Melissa McCormick has dedicated her life to speaking for others when they were unable to speak for themselves, and to helping others find their voice when overwhelming forces threatened to silence them. As someone who, in the face of tremendous adversity, found, over time, an empowering way forward, and whose life's work has crystallized as a result, was crystallized as a result of unspeakable trauma, she serves as an exemplary community citizen and an outstanding inspiration to us all. Mr. Chancellor, it is for these reasons that I present to you Melissa McCormick for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, in accordance with the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Windsor, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Melissa. It's now my privilege to ask Dr. McCormick to address convocation. Melissa.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, graduates, faculty, ladies and gentlemen. Today we honor and recognize not only the students that are here today to graduate, but we also recognize the faculty who made it their mission to produce such honorable graduates today, and also to the family members who, helped to bring about this room of excellence. So thank you to everybody, for all of us who are here today. It is such an honor to receive this honorary degree from the University of Windsor, and I will accept it and display it proudly. And, it'll be a reminder to me on a regular basis that no matter how far you fall and no matter how hard things get, you know what, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. What I went through as a young woman, it wasn't easy. I wanted to die. My life was put in the hands of evil monsters. But you know what? When I look back at that time, and it's been almost 40 years, there's a big difference between my life today and my life back then. You know, my goal at the time as a teenager was just to be normal. I just wanted to lead a normal life. But you know what? I'm not normal. I'm extraordinary. I'm extraordinary because, oh, thank you. I'm extraordinary because I lived through that with faith. I knew in my heart that there had to be more to life and there had to be meaning behind my suffering. For decades, I searched for that meaning. You know, I read constantly. I educated myself, and I had to know what the purpose of my life was at that time. Now here, you know, I am today, you know, full circle, you know, in front of all these wonderful people, the graduates in particular, who have studied so hard for the past 3 years to make it their special day today. And, you know, to be honest with you, I feel just like an ordinary person, and I'm so honored to have a standing ovation in the middle of the ceremony. That's pretty amazing. But that's a testament to all the people that struggle on a day-to-day basis just to have a good life and just to move forward in life. And as Dr. Wildeman asked me on the phone when he told me about this honorary degree today, he said, just tell the graduates a few of your words of wisdom. So hopefully I will be able to inspire you with a few things that I learned, and most of the time it was the hard way. I was stubborn. I learned everything the hard way. And hopefully here today I'll be able to inspire you to move forward with your life. First, I would like to mention how important it is to accept the truth. Acceptance is one of the hardest things that victims find when they have to deal with their traumas. Now, regardless of what you're going through, if you're really, really frustrated, or if you're having extra challenges that are difficult for you to proceed with, accept what is, put it in the past. That's the only way to move forward. And you know, there are so many things that sometimes you want to deny, but it always comes back to haunt you. So you've got to make acceptance one of the first things that you work at. Now, coupled with that is forgiveness. You know, you can't take anything personally. You know, when you look at a person's trauma, a person's experiences, and everybody has their own dysfunctional backgrounds and things like that, what you have to do is you have to forgive, but not just the people that are in your life. You have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you make. We're all human. Nobody is perfect. We all have our challenges, and we have to move forward in doing that. I believe that the secret to happiness is selflessness. You know, when I say that, you know, during my speeches, people think, what do you mean by selflessness? If you can look at the big picture, if you can look at the eyes, if you can look at the world through the eyes of other people and see how everyone struggles just as much as you're struggling, it paints a whole different picture, and it's easy to forgive. Selflessness means putting the community first, contributing to humanity through social work, whatever, anything to help others to move forward. If you can inspire others, you will not only inspire yourself, you'll also they'll be inspired by you. And there goes the flow of life. You know, everyone together moving forward in a positive fashion. You know, one of the things that I wanted to mention here today is that, you know, your education, graduates, does not end today just because you are receiving your diploma. Self-education is a lifelong mission. You have to continue to grow and to continue to learn. Continue reading, you know, share ideas, brainstorm with other people. It doesn't end here. Most of my education is all self-education. I was not in a position where I could go to the university. I actually did, I think I took 3 courses one semester, and that was the extent of my university education because of what happened to me. So here you've got an opportunity to make your world, you know, just outstanding, and it's all a choice that you yourself make. I just don't know exactly how to explain how beautiful the world really is. When you look at the news every day, you see what's going on globally, the economy, etc., etc. You know what? it's been like that throughout history. If you study war and history, you'll see that that's nothing new. But you have to overcome that, and you have to be bigger than what the news is. The way to do that is to know that it's the simple things in life that really bring you joy and beauty. Don't worry about what's going on overseas sometimes. Of course you need to be informed, and current events are very important to where we live today. But don't let it change your energy. This is a wonderful world. There are miracles in your life that are coming to you, and as long as you maintain yourself, you stay open to all the goodness and the positivity that's out there, you can't lose. So my message here today is don't give up. Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't give up on others. Don't give up on life. And don't you dare give up on your dreams. Thank you very much.